You know, I had a great salary. I was doing well for myself.
What is well during that time, brother?
I had a six-figure salary.
Okay.
That I thought was good.
Oh, it's decent.
Yeah,
You know, a lot
decent.
of people out there making
Right.
six figures,
Right.
man. They living life.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a nice house, about 2 cars.
Yeah.
Once the bills were paid, I was like, dude, have much to live on. I still never owned a business.
What was it that kept you stuck on analysis paralysis?
The fear of never owning a business, not knowing who had a business. Voice in my head was just saying, there's more to you. There's more to you. Called him up, like, hey, is that opportunity still available? He's like, yeah, I was waiting for you. And then from that point on, it was just uphill from there.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Level Up Podcast. This is Paul Alex, and today we have another great interview. We have our guest, Shawn Greene. Shawn Greene is a former police officer turned serial entrepreneur that built multiple 7 figures, guys. And you guys are going to love this industry, okay? Because it's coming up into 2026. Tax businesses. That's right. Everybody likes to talk about taxes. You guys know the reason why I moved to Puerto Rico, because of taxes. So we're going to go ahead and take a deep dive, not only into taxes, but Shawn's background as a police officer and also his transition and his journey on how he was able to go ahead and build multiple 7 figures here in the city of Philly. Shawn, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Brother, it's been a long time coming, man.
It has been.
You know, we've been following each other for years on social media.
Yes.
Former police officers, serial entrepreneurs. I see you're doing your thing over there, dude. I mean, I'm proud of you, man. So I'm glad that you're actually on the show, and I'm super excited to hear about your background. So for my audience that's listening and watching right now, dude, who are you? Number one.
Okay.
And then number two, let's start off in your background with law enforcement.
Absolutely. Shawn Greene.
Mhm.
My background in law enforcement started when I was about 21 years old. I was all excited to become a police officer, excited to serve my community and take care of people. I did well, flew through the police academy, won the physical fitness award in the police academy.
Yep.
I was just that guy who wanted to do everything the right way. So that went well. I was in law enforcement for only about 3 to 4 years. But I just always knew there was more. There was more to me. I was a cop, but I was living paycheck to paycheck, dude.
Yeah.
Literally. And I was like, there's got to be another way. I had a college degree and I was a law enforcement officer. But again, I just saw myself to do something more. My degree's in marketing, but I went into law enforcement.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, how do you correlate marketing to law enforcement? But that's what I did. Then I went into, I didn't want to stay in law enforcement because I just felt like there was more to me.
Yeah.
I feel like I wanted to do more. I wanted to have more. And honestly, dude, I like money.
Yeah. And that's okay. A lot of people like to paint, money as this bad thing and this greed thing. But, correct me if I'm wrong, Shawn, it comes down to our environment, right?
Correct.
Who, our parents are, we love our families and our parents and our loved ones and our friends, and they want to keep us all nice and cozy, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, not staying safe is not going to make you rich,
Not at all.
or it's not going to build that life by design, right?
Correct.
So, obviously you saw more
Yes.
in yourself than what law enforcement was providing for you. And then what was the next move? So you were in law enforcement for 4 years, and then what year was this? Around what year?
This year was around 2006, 7.
Okay,
Around
so
then.
2006, 7, and that was around the time where the economy crashed.
Correct.
During the real estate.
Yes.
So it was really bad.
It was bad.
Oh man, brother, I remember when that happened, man.
Yeah.
Luckily, during that time, I was still in corporate America. It was right before I became a cop, a few years before. So, yeah. So I remember. So you went ahead and you transitioned. What did you get into right after law enforcement?
Great question. So right when I got out of law enforcement, I was still on that bridge. I went to the head of security in the casino.
Okay.
Down in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Did that for about a year.
Mhm.
And it was good,
Mhm.
but then again, I still wanted more. So I took a job in sales.
Okay.
I worked at, I was selling door-to-door cable.
Yeah.
Knocking on doors and selling cable. I became the number one sales rep in the company within 3 months.
Wow.
So I knew that I had some talent.
Yeah.
So that entered my career into sales. I did that for about 3 to 4 years, and then I went right into pharmaceutical sales, where I was actually vision care, where I started selling contact lenses to eye doctors.
Wow.
I did that for a few years,
Mhm.
about 5 years. And then there was just still something, just that bug in me saying, I just want something more.
Yeah.
I had a great salary. I was doing well for myself. But
What is well during that time, brother?
I had a six-figure salary
Okay.
that I thought was good.
No, it's decent.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, a lot of
decent.
people out there making
Right,
six figures,
right,
man. They living life.
right,
Yeah.
right. But I noticed, I had a nice house, about 2 cars.
Yeah.
Once the bills were paid, I was like, dude, like, I mean, have much to live on,
Right.
Um, so that lit a fire in me where I wanted to do more. And I said, there's more into me. That voice in my head was just saying, there's more to you. There's more to you. So I started going to the International Franchise Expo every year with a buddy of mine that I used to work with. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had saved up some capital in my 401k. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I said, I want to do something.
How old were you during this time?
Early 30s.
Early 30s.
Yeah.
So early 30s, your mindset has shifted. You entered into business. You learned that sales is one of the most valuable skills, and you just kept progressing,
Right.
right? So now you're thinking about switching over to full-time entrepreneurship.
Correct.
Did you have any friends during that time that were encouraging you to get into entrepreneurship?
So I had a buddy that I worked with. He wanted to own a business at some point, but I didn't have any friends. No one around me had owned any business. So it was new to me. It was a
Okay.
little bit foreign. So I didn't have anyone.
Oh, wow.
No.
So where do you think you got the mindset of, I need to become more?
It's always been there. It's
Mm.
always been something in me just says there's more to you. Like there's just more. You can do more. You can become more. There's more for you. It's just a voice in my head that just kept saying, this is not all for you. This is not it for you to just go to work every day, pay your bills, have $600 to live off of for the next 2 weeks. You understand what I'm saying? And I didn't like that. So I sought out for other opportunities.
Well, let me ask you, man. I mean, I interview a lot of successful entrepreneurs, you being one of them now.
Yeah.
And there's two paths that I usually see. One path is, they come from an environment where people tell them, hey, we loved you. You could do anything you want in this life, right?
Right.
And then there's the second path, and that's the school of hard knocks, where people just learn just based off of grit, discipline, and they probably saw someone, like they probably had a mentor.
Yep.
Like I know before social media and all that jazz, for a lot of us, I had a lot of mentors in law enforcement. I had a lot of mentors in sales. I even considered my parents, they tried to mentor me, throughout when I was a
Right.
kid. So did you have a mentor growing up?
Didn't really have mentors, but my father pushed me.
Okay.
My father pushed me hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes he was so hard on me, I'd be like, this dude not like me. Right.
It's a good or bad thing.
Right. But my dad was like, your last name is Green. You will
Yeah.
get straight A's in this house.
Wow.
And you will be the best. That's that. I'm like, dude, I've never got an A in my life.
Yeah.
Because I lived with my mother. Then I left my mother's house and then moved with my father because they split early. And then he's just like, my father didn't really live by everything, all the code he told me to live by.
Right.
But he pushed me to be the best. And that just lit a fire in me to just, I was self-disciplined. I didn't need no one to tell me to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I never smoked weed. I never did any stuff like that. I was just always on a straight path.
Mm.
So that's because my father always pushed me to be the best. So I would give all the credit to him. As far as a mentor, like business mentor, when I got in, I didn't have any.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your dad's name?
Ronald.
Shout out Ronald.
It's my middle.
Did a great job, man.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, all right, good. So you start going into all these expos with a really good friend of yours. You guys start considering business, and what happens next?
So what happens next? I meet this guy. I have a great conversation with him. He's actually I didn't know he was the owner of the business, but I was just met him, had a great conversation, and I went home. I'm like, this is a nice guy. I don't know who he is, but he's a nice guy. He said, you know what? Why don't you come back for a meeting, and just get a little more information about this business? I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you seem cool. I'll listen to what you have to say.
Right.
About 2 weeks later, I came back. We had another meeting, but this time the meeting was at this nice fancy hotel. And he was actually sitting on the podium speaking. And I was just like, well, this is just a nice guy talking. I thought he just won the reps, but he's speaking. And when I walked outside, before I came in the building, it was just like all these supercars outside. I'm like, what's really going on?
Yeah.
So it sparked my interest a little more. Um, After the meeting, the interest meeting was nice, all the rah rah and everything. It sounds good, but I still never owned a business.
Right.
So I went home and I was like, let me think about it. I thought about it. Didn't really do anything with it for like a year, honestly.
What was it that kept you stuck on analysis paralysis that year?
I guess the fear. Well, the fear of not knowing, the fear of never owning a business, and I didn't know anyone who had a business,
Mhm.
and the fear of does this really work? Because I tried like network marketing in the past, and just like I'm sure people have good stories and bad stories about
Right.
network marketing.
Right.
I just never made really money with it, so I was just like,
So you had a bad taste in your mouth.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
But I didn't know that there was something still in me, and I remember that conversation. The guy just seemed so genuine. So I was like, I called him up about a year, close to a year later. I was like, "Hey, is that opportunity still available?" He's like, "Yeah, I was waiting for you. It's still available." I went to operations training. I was probably the guy who asked the most questions. After operation trainings, they said, "You are going to probably be one of the most successful. We've never had nobody come and ask these many questions, and they're so in tuned. Everything you asked was on point." Um, and then from that point on, I opened my first store a few weeks after operations training. Um, and then after that, it was just uphill from there.
So, the business concept. Let's talk about the business concept that you had open after operations school. What exactly? And I would break it down.
Okay.
Like you would break it down to a fifth grader, because
Okay.
typically, like my listeners, they're typically beginners
Okay.
that are looking for different opportunities. So
Sure.
this is great.
Sure.
This might be an opportunity that a lot of people actually go ahead and get into because of you,
Okay.
and your story. So, what would you say on just a simplified, I guess, summary of what exactly your business does?
What my business does is we do taxes in the low income.
Okay.
That's what we primarily special. I can do taxes for anyone,
Mhm.
but our specialty, we open up stores in low income area.
Okay.
We're like the other. I don't really want to say a lot of names, but we're like the Liberties, the Jackson Hughes, all those. We're like the big three, but we're a little bit smaller.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
understand what I'm saying? So that's what we are.
You're more niche down.
Correct.
Yeah. So you're hyper focused on low income. Why specifically low income?
We specifically focus on low income because low income is where we see we add more value,
Mhm,
and we add more value because we're not the most expensive in the
mhm,
town,
mhm.
um, but we also do a lot for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's good, man. So you're able to help back, give back to the community, and and provide that level of service that they need. Now, you started that what year?
came into business in first year was 2019.
So in 2019, you opened your first franchise store.
Correct.
And then from there, when or how long did it take until you got your second, your third store up and running?
I opened that store, had a store for 2 years.
Mhm.
Then on the third year, I opened my second store.
Oh wow.
Then I had my second store for 3 years,
Mhm.
and then opened my third store.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, what would you say is the secret to your success now opening multiple franchises and now being able to scale that business into a multi-million dollar business?
It's a lot.
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
The secret to success, to be successful in this business, is one, you got to follow instructions, got to follow the blueprint. There's a blueprint laid out, and then we can talk about that. Um, but just the biggest thing is being able to market your business
Mhm.
to your customers.
Okay.
So some people have businesses they don't know who they're really marketing to. I market specifically to the customers that I want to grasp to. I'm not marketing to everyone.
Yeah, low income.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. If you make a certain amount of money, you can come into the store, but I'm not really marketing to you. I can service you, but you're not going to be my main market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you go ahead and go about marketing specifically to the low income? I know before the podcast we were talking about boosting ads.
Correct.
So on the digital side, you're one of the first ones to do it within your market. So let's talk a little bit about that. When you first started with your first store, because right now that somebody's listening, hey, they might be a struggling tax consultant right now. Let's say
Right.
like, all right, tell me the sauce, right?
Right.
So what would you tell them? I mean, took you from like zero to the level of success that you're at now. Was it simply word of mouth, referrals? Was it great marketing? What was it exactly?
At first, we started off with guerrilla marketing.
Mm.
We were big at that. We were literally out door to door. I had hired a team who were canvassing, giving out flyers to the community. I had a strategic zip code that we were working at. That we did that for a period of time. And then I saw that that was okay, but not really getting the sales that I wanted. Once I took it to social media,
Yeah.
and I would specialize ads for these zip codes. I would specialize the zip codes for the communities that I wanted to come in. It was probably 3 or 4 zip codes that I knew that were close to one of the stores. And then when I boosted those ads and added the because customers didn't really want to come in, they didn't really want to come in. So I added the aspect of doing it virtually. So when customers were able to just send electronically their information through a secure portal, they let us do it virtually, and then the sales went crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So once we added the virtual piece, that's when things went crazy because I could service anyone in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how many people are you currently servicing right now?
We're at about 3,000 customers right now.
3,000 customers.
Yeah.
Wow. And are you currently helping other people build franchises like yours right now? Now, I mean, you went from being the Karate Kid to Mr. Miyagi to
Right.
taxes. So now are you doing the exact same thing that your mentor showed you?
And that's my next goal.
Mm.
I'm not doing it yet. So
Okay.
that's why I'm here.
Okay.
So the next goal is to have others build their business, and build a little faster. I know how to mentor where they can all the negative things that I've been through.
Yeah.
They can avoid that. It is a big. I can avoid the big learning curve that they would have, um, or slow down that learning curve, speed it up, or whatever. We can do that. And yeah, those are things that the next step I want to do is I want to mentor. I haven't started it yet, but that's something that I want to add. Yes.
So what would you say culture in your line of work with having employees and having to go ahead and manage other people, how big is culture in your environment right now?
Culture.
Yeah, like does it play a big factor when building a team?
I believe it does.
Mhm.
I believe the culture and how you treat your reps matter.
Yeah.
I believe the culture and how you run everything matters.
Mhm.
Because if I want someone to do something or for me or do something for the business, I have to first show that I'm doing it and I can do it. So I was able to build a good culture around my stores. Um, just always leading by example because
Mm.
there's nothing that I'll ask you to do that I won't do myself.
Mm.
And there's nothing I know every aspect of the business. Um, I didn't win the top franchisee in the country for nothing. I did it because I followed the blueprint. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that helped me to be successful. And the culture is I take that very serious on how I treat people.
Mhm.
How we run the stores, we run it like a tight ship. Um, and following the blueprint, following the steps and staying on track. Those are some things that has helped us become number one.
Man, how are you hiring people now, man? I know me myself, now being in full-time
Yeah.
entrepreneurship for close to a little bit over 6 years now, that is still one of the hardest things I have issues with. And I built 3 different businesses, man, but it's just like, I don't know if it's just a trust thing,
Right.
it's just, I've been burned a little bit before. But how are you finding good people to work with you?
That's been a challenge. That has been a challenge. Uh,
Yeah.
but a lot of the reps that I hire,
Referrals.
they were referrals, but they came in as customers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
what I do often is I'll send out ads on my Instagram and a lot of because I have a couple pages. I have my store and I have my personal. And then I'll boost ads on my store page. And a lot of customers that's already been customers, they want to work for the business because they like how we've treated them.
Oh, wow.
50% of my employees have come from previous customers. They were previous customers.
I love that
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love giving back. I will hire someone who's come in, they see how we work.
Mhm.
I won't want to say first before I look out, but I want to keep it in the culture first. I want to see give opportunities to prior customers before I open up to everyone else.
And that's a smart concept because here's the thing, they're able to talk from the experience.
Correct.
So now that they're going ahead and they're greeting or providing the customer service to your new clients
Right.
or your new prospects, they're able to talk from personal experience.
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest thing, right?
Sure.
You know, do you believe that you yourself, that people come back and do business with you year after year because you give that extra personal touch?
1000%.
Yeah,
1000%. I could probably name every customer that walks in that building by first name.
I love that.
Everyone. Because one thing I value is call a person by the first name.
Yeah.
They won't forget it and say it right.
Yeah.
So most of my customers continue to come because they know I'm going to do it. I'm fair. I'm going to do their taxes right. And I'm going to put them in the best scenario for their tax return.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So when you go ahead and you greet somebody and they're like, Shawn, you know, that's the level of culture that you're showing your employees to go ahead and do at your business. So where did you learn that from? Is that from like just personal experience? Is that from being in law enforcement? Like, how did you learn how to be an actual leader instead of a manager?
Becoming a leader, it was just always internal. I was in sports. I was a 4-time track champion. I was in law enforcement. I always knew how to lead.
Mm.
And I always knew how to treat everyone with respect. Respect goes a long way. No matter, everyone has good days, everyone has bad days.
Yeah.
But respect, people will remember people forget names, they forget a lot of stuff, but they never forget how you make them feel. So respect goes a long way with me. And just being a leader is just something that I've always had in me. Just lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not just lead and try to tell people what to do, be able to lead by example. And when you can lead by example, people are going to trust you because they know, oh, he'll pull his sleeves up and get dirty right with us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have so many customers that most of them want me to do their taxes.
Yeah.
But I've gotten so big, I can't do everyone's taxes. But we've trained our reps, and I like to say reps, I don't like to say employees. We train our reps to the point where they know what I know and they can do what I can do.
Right.
And we've been successful because our customers are confident in us because they know that anyone who touches their return is going to do a magnificent job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're backing it. It's like
1000%.
it's like a personal guarantee from
Absolutely.
Shawn.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So let's do sort of like a master class
Okay.
during this interview,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you tell somebody that is they're coming to you
Mhm.
and they're like, Shawn, I know you're gonna be speaking at a conference soon, man. What would be the first couple of steps that I need to take as a brand new entrepreneur to launch my own tax business? What would be some key needle movers that you would give someone, especially in the beginner level, advice to go ahead and get started with that?
Well, first they would have to set their business structure up.
Mhm.
Once their business they have their business structured, then we can talk about how I can put you in a tax space where you can start making some money.
Mhm.
My goal now is to take everything remote, make things a little bit easier.
Mhm.
So that's how I would start with those customers.
So when you say remote, you're referring to not having to lease an office space, not having to like rent an office space,
Correct.
and they're able to do it from their home.
Correct. Make
That's
money from home.
that's
Yeah,
huge
absolutely.
because I know now in 2025, a lot of people are looking for different opportunities to go ahead and start a business at home, right? Whether
Absolutely.
it's, people can't afford to get babysitters
Right.
and whatnot, right? It's expensive,
Right.
man. So they got to do double duty.
Absolutely.
So they can go ahead and start from home. So is this like a special software, or is sort of like an academy or a trade school they have to go to in order to get? Do you have to get certified to do this?
Yeah, you got to get certified. If you're going to deal with low income, you have to get certified through the IRS. That's a simple training. Then you have to have something called a P10. It's a preparer's tax ID number. That's like what, $25 to get that. And then once you learn the software, which I can put a program together where we can teach you the software, you're pretty much up and running and ready to go. Once you have the software, you have your P10, and you just gain some customers, you start making money.
Oh, wow. So how difficult from a level, I guess, of 1 to 10 being the most difficult, would you say it is to go ahead and get certified for this?
To get certified, it's very simple. You would just go online to
Mhm.
the IRS, buy a P10, and like anyone can literally go online and do it if they want to do it right now. They
Yeah.
can do it. There's no certification for that. Anyone can get that, but to do taxes, you would have to go through something called a due diligence training, and that just shows like, hey, you can do this or you can't do this. If someone and it comes into your store, or if you want to do their return and you're live with them face to face, is this their ID? Is
Mhm.
this their documentation? Are these really their dependents? Like those things
To verify.
you have to verify that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of scams and all that
There's
that
a ton.
happens.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
Now the training, the due diligence training, now once you go through that, you're saying, "Hey, I understand that I'm not gonna just take this person's word for these are my dependents." And you can't. You have to verify, okay, what documentation did they provide you? And it doesn't have to, I mean, did they bring the ID? Did they have their other documentations
Right.
to verify that they can, properly claim that individual?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So, they go ahead and they get certified, they get the documents, and now they're able to run the business from home.
correct.
What would be, I guess, the first step that you would recommend somebody to start marketing their business, especially being a remote tax business?
Go on social media.
Social media.
Social media is huge. We would go online, go social media. And what I started to do is I boost ads, but it's not expensive. I mean, you can boost ads and
Let's talk about that.
yeah,
S- So, when you say boost ads, break it down to the person that does know nothing about marketing, brother. Because I know you got a degree in marketing.
correct.
So you're more advanced than us. So go ahead and break down when you say boosting ads, what do you mean?
Okay. So I would go on, let's say Instagram.
Okay. Instagram.
I would type up whatever I was looking for. So I was like, hey, let's say if you didn't work a W-2 job, but you did have self-employment income and you can verify it, and you have children, but you didn't work a W-2 job, I can get you a tax return.
So basically you would be talking to a lot of home-based businesses,
Correct.
1099
1099
contractors.
independent contractors.
And this is something that you would film like almost like a selfie video, or would it be like a post? Like what type of ad would you do this for?
Sometimes it'll just be a post, just written down, a post.
You would just write it down.
Just write it down, post, and you'll be surprised. People, something that can read in big bold
How
letters.
simple.
Very simple.
Yeah.
And then I would just, when I go on Instagram, when I go to boost the ad, I would just say, these are the zip codes I want to market to.
Okay.
Um, and then I would boost that ad. It would probably charge me like $5 a day,
Yeah.
something like that. And the reach and within 30 days is going to be, I don't know, 30,000
Yeah.
touches. So if I get 10% of 30,000,
Yeah.
it's 300.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot of sales.
Mm-hmm.
300 sales would net you, depending on what you're charging, 300 sales in a tax season,
Mm-hmm.
it's over 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Hey guys, there you go. For all my current tax consultants, if you guys are looking a way to go ahead and boost your guys' sales to a multiple 6 to 7 figure revenue within your tax season, come and talk to Shawn. You need to start an agency.
Absolutely.
Start ready to allow tax firms marketing, brother.
Absolutely.
Charge an arm and a
Yeah,
leg for
yeah.
it too. No, I love that. So clarity. So just writing simple posts that people can understand, they can see. How do you pick the zip codes? Is it because you do a little bit of research based on like the income
Great question.
ratio? Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah.
So I picked the zip codes 100% on the income.
Okay.
So you can go to IRS and just see, or you can just either Google what's the AGI. AGI just stands for adjusted gross income
Uh-huh.
in that zip code. And once you see what they're making, if they're making 200,000 at zip code, they're probably going to CPA,
Hmm.
right? But if they're making 50,000, a little bit under, you could service that customer, right? And then I would just market those ads specific to those zip codes because
Okay.
I know that's where my clientele is going to come from.
Smart.
Then they start calling, and then we start taking those orders and getting those deals.
Love that. And then once they submit the information, you yourself, you're giving them a call, or are they jumping on a Zoom call? How does that work?
We have a couple ways to do it now. So if they want to jump on a call, we can jump on a call, like a Zoom call.
Mhm.
If they feel more comfortable seeing us, if they don't want to come to one of the stores, um, we can get on the phone. We send all of our information through encrypted portals where
Yep.
no one, it literally can't get intercepted. So that's how we keep everybody's documentation safe. Um, and yeah, we can just do it. We could jump on a call if they're comfortable that way. We can go back and forth through Zoom. Um, and yeah, we can do that.
I love that. So You broke down the system of how to go ahead and create an ad, which is super simplified that anyone could go ahead and understand it.
Correct.
You specific down to a niche, which your niche is more low income individuals. Then you do some research based on the zip code, based on the gross income of the zip code. Then that's how you target your avatar, your
Absolutely.
actual ideal client. And then you run the ads. Let's say you run $5 a day. You get 30,000 impressions or views, 10%, 300. Then yeah, you got, I mean, you're cash flowing. So
Absolutely.
that's remarkable, man. And usually when are your busy seasons for your business?
So the months of January, February, March, you can do this in 90 days.
Wow.
Yeah. You can
Wow.
do it in 90 days. I mean, April, you'll have some customers coming in, but a lot of the low income filers have already filed.
Right.
So that's where you can get primarily most of your business in those first 3 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And then for the rest of the year, are you guys going ahead and taking that off, or, I mean, what's the exact schedule that you guys follow as a tax business?
So the rest of the year, believe it or not, there's a lot of people who just don't file. So
Mm,
we keep our phones open. If someone wants to do taxes, we can do them all year.
yeah.
We're not one of those tax pay places that shut down right after tax season. You won't
Right.
see us again. We are open all year long.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any plans on expanding more actual in-person locations for yourself in the three that you have?
It's a great question. Um, it's good. It's a lot.
Yeah.
At this point, I think that I can help more people do it remotely.
Yeah.
I think at this point, I'm going to look to expand the business, yes, and scale more, but we're going to do it more on a remote online basis.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of other entrepreneurs in different industries. Um, like Alex Ramosi, for example, right?
Okay.
He when he was doing gyms,
Oh,
he
okay.
would help launch gyms,
Right.
and he was going in person, flying into different states to help gym owners launch the gym.
Okay.
But then a very similar concept as yours right now, the way you're thinking, man, is just like, I think I can help people more digitally. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
He's just like, you know what? I think I can help more people launch digitally.
Absolutely.
So I think at scale, especially because you already have the blueprint, the process,
Correct.
you have the social proof. Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be huge. And
Absolutely.
that's gonna be remarkable. So listen, Sean, I love everything, dude. I love everything from, your summary of law enforcement, how you transitioned, and it's very real. A
Absolutely.
lot of
Yeah.
people, you're not painting this picture of, I was an overnight success at the age of 21 and now I
Right.
have a Lambo, right? you
Definitely not.
you went through your trials and tribulations, man.
Absolutely.
So, what would you tell somebody about leveling up their mindset in 2025, brother? What does it take to level up yourself as a man, but also an entrepreneur? What would you say?
You've hit some great questions. For one, surround yourself with positive people.
Mhm.
Positive people. Don't be around people who are always complaining because that energy is contagious. Um, Also, work on yourself. Work on yourself. Do some self help or self help books. Um, and ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to set yourself away from anything that's like negative.
Mhm.
Any of that negativity, you just got to let that go, the vices and all that, um, and believe in yourself.
Mm.
Work on fitness. I
Mhm.
think fitness is huge because I think that if you're working on yourself that way, everything comes to you.
Yeah.
Um, and surrounding yourself with people who are doing better than you
Yeah.
is going to help you out a lot. And just work. I like to say investing in yourself, whatever that means. Invest in yourself. If you're around five people who aren't doing well in life, guess what? You're going to be the sixth. If you're around five people who are drinking every day, you're going to be the sixth.
Mhm.
If you're around five multimillionaires, guess what? Sooner or later, you're going to be the sixth.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's my advice to anyone. Just keep grinding. Yeah.
I love that. Did you ever have to go ahead and basically force yourself to level up to a different environment because you realized that your environment was going to help you grow?
1,000%.
Yeah?
Yeah. I had friends that always wanted to go out drinking. That's all I want to do. Let's Friday night. Let's go party. Let's go with Shawn because we know Shawn's gonna flip that bill. Um,
Yeah.
and I got tired of it. I got around people who are just like, dude, this is what you do. Like, you have so much potential,
Yeah.
you know? And they actually made me feel bad. I'm like, these dudes are doing so well, and they saw I had potential. So I had to leave all the other, all my other buddies that I mean, we had some stories that we can talk about, but that wasn't making us money.
Around what age did you start realizing this?
29.
29?
Yeah.
It's a good age.
Yeah. 29. I was like, yeah, dude, I can't do this every night.
Yeah.
We were going out 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. And I got around people who were just doing better than me.
Mhm.
And I looked up to them and trusted them. And that's how things started to shift. I always had that self-discipline. I always had the self-discipline. I always worked out. I mean, that was something I was going to do. I always had that intact. I just didn't find the right people to be around with. I was never around people to do crazy things, but I just weren't around people who had shifted their mindset to the entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
When I got around the owner of the tax business I'm currently in, things started to shift because I started to see things from a different perspective. Um, I saw people online doing really well.
Yeah.
I scrolled, saw you,
Yeah.
saw what positive things you were doing. I looked up to that, and I wanted to be around people who are just taking things to a next level,
Right.
being positive, helping others.
Yep.
Through whether that's through mentoring or whether that's through just leading by example.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's when things started to shift. Yeah.
Wow. So your perspective now that you've been in entrepreneurship for how many years now?
I say full entrepreneur when I completely left corporate America, 7 years.
So 7 years, full-time entrepreneur. What would you tell someone once they get into full-time entrepreneurship, actually built a business, would that person ever go back to working for someone else?
Once you get to a level of success, I don't think you ever could. I
Why
don't think
is that?
having your time back is more valuable.
Mhm.
Once you get your time back and you see that you can be compensated substantially and have your time, you can't go back. You couldn't pay me enough.
Yeah.
No.
And what do you say to the people that say, "Well, I see entrepreneurs working more than they would for someone else. I see them working 50 hours, 60 hours, 100 hours." What do you tell those people?
Oh, that's me sometimes.
Yeah.
I tell those people that in the beginning, yeah, you're gonna be that guy working those hours. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask this question. Would you rather be working all those hours and making someone else rich,
Mm,
or working all those hours and making yourself rich?
that's right. Yeah.
Pick your poison,
Yeah.
right?
It's gonna be hard regardless.
It's gonna be hard. Choose your heart,
Yeah.
right? So yeah.
No, I love that, man. I love that type of mindset. So, all right. Now, typically, I go ahead and at the very end of the interviews, I go ahead and I ask you to go and look at the camera and just imagine that you have hundreds of thousands of people, which what's going to happen watching this.
Right.
And they're going to be inspired and they're going to be like, man, his story is so real. I'm currently 29. I still don't know what I want to do. I'm trying to figure it out. I have a friend telling me to do X, Y, and Z. Should I
Right.
do it? Right. So, what words of encouragement would you tell, this is deep, old Shawn? What would you tell old Shawn when old Shawn was still hanging out with those people that were comfortable? They weren't bad people, but they were comfortable, man. They weren't leveling up. So, what would you tell old Shawn right now?
That is probably the one of the top questions someone's asked me. I would tell old Sean that um, keep grinding. You don't have to have it figured out. All you have to do is start. Once you start, that's when your legacy begins. I don't have it figured out yet. The legendary Paul doesn't have it figured out yet. But once you start, that's when your legacy begins. Stay grinding, stay focused, stay around people who's doing something positive. Um, that's what I tell my old self. Just keep grinding and it's all going to pay off. Don't listen to those negative people who are being negative, because the negative people, you'll never be criticized by someone's not doing, you'll never be criticized by someone doing better than you, I would say. If you're receiving criticism, it's because those people aren't where you're at and they're not doing what you're doing. That's what I tell my old self. Just keep grinding, and keep pushing. You'll get there.
And that's what we call the level up with Shawn Greene, guys. Guys, leave us 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. We have a brand new YouTube channel called The Level Up with Paul Alex. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to that channel, guys. We're currently top 3 in business on Apple Podcasts for the past 10 months, guys, okay? Because of you, the listeners. Now, guys, if you guys love this episode, make sure to share it with a friend that you care about that wants to level up their knowledge, not only in the tax business, but also wants to go ahead and learn more from Shawn. And then, Shawn, where can my followers and listeners actually go ahead and reach out to you, brother?
You can reach out me to on Instagram. My Instagram is official_Shawn. That's SHAWN 63. Again, it's official_Shawn SHAWN 63. That's my IG.
And there you guys have it. This is the Level Up with Paul Alex, Shawn Greene. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.